Music for me started when I was oh, born, I guess. I grew up in a house where my father is a musician. My mother, she can also play one or two instruments. And I have two brothers. I used to have three. One passed away a few years ago. And I also have a sister. But growing up with a musical family, it forced me. I was actually the last one amongst my brothers to start playing the guitar, and for me it was really not so easy because those guys could play on the age of 6 already, and I started around about 13, 12, 13, and I had so much catching up to do at the time. Sometimes it was really tough. It was difficult because it was this constant battle with my brothers. I want to show them, look, man, I can also do this. I can also do that. But eventually, I start playing drums at first. And then I start playing guitar. I start playing bass. Also, we grew up as a Pentecostal church family. And today, my father is a leader of a church, and it was just church, music, school, church, music, school. En in die Kaap, as 'n Kaapse kind, as 'n gitaarspeler, jy kan nie help nie. Jonathan Butler was nog altyd 'n gunsteling vir ons mense. Maak nie saak waar jy in die wêreld was nie. Toe ek die gitaar optel, toe was dit like, ja, hoe speel die man jong? En dis nylon, is gatsnare, gewone snare wat hy speel. En meanwhile, daar was al die ander likes ook. Die likes van Ernst Smith. Daar was die likes ook van die Jimmy Ludlows. Daar's Allo April. Baie van die manne, Richard Caesar, so baie die naam, Errol Dyers, die name kan aangaan. Goeie gitaarspelers wat uit die Kaap het kom. En die manne, 'n Kaap, ek weet nie, daar's net 'n ding as 'n Kaapse Kaap naar gitaar vat. It's a lot of soul. It's a lot of history from our country. It also goes with us, playing the guitar as a guitar player as well. And then I started playing in a school, in the school band. My friend Manuel Jardine, we started this group. We were like the look-arounds, playing in a school jazz band, and from that, we played choirs, the gospel bands, playing the R&B bands and the jazz bands. And after school, I bought my first professional guitar. My first professional guitar was a chord. It was a jazz, kind of like a George Benson kind of, a West Montgomery kind of jazz guitar. And I bought this guitar from a local job that I did back then. And my first band, professional band, I played with N2. And N2 is three brothers, Noel, Newton, and Adrian. And these guys have been already in the industry for almost like 15 years before me. And I started jamming with them, I started playing with them, they gave me opportunity. I worked with them for, say, I think plus minus 4 years. And good times, I learned a lot from them. For me as a young guitar player then, I was just, for me, working with them, they normally just told me that, Lionel, you just brought this fire to us, man. You had this young fire. You were just this violent fire. And I was like, for me, it was like, man, I'm playing with N2. And good musicians, very professional. They taught me a lot. They work at basically all the clubs. And for me, as a young guitar player working with N2, it was just a dream for me. And through them, working with them, I met everybody. You know, I met everybody on the jazz in the jazz circuit, coming from just working in the church, you know, in the church choir, and working in a maybe just a local. Because I'm from Makassar, and just working like playing here, die sang aan and I sang aan, and but it was just a whole new avenue for me, and becoming a professional, you know, professional musician. And ever since then, that's what I did. I working as a professional musician. Married life. I met my wife. I was busy with we did a coffee shop on Friday nights. Me and my family at Zandvliet High School, a high school that I used to attend. And what we did is every Friday night, me and my family, my mom, my dad, our whole family, we gathered young people in a classroom and created a space for young people to be not on a Sabine on a Friday night, or maybe smoking okra, you know, like young kids these days, and the pure pressure of what it is. And I also used to invite youths, you know, churches, whoever, everybody's welcome. And busy with the work of God at that time, my wife was also, you know, attending, and we became friends. And 6 years later we got 6 years later we got married, and we have two sons today, Lyle and Jose. It's a new phase for me. It's something new. Everybody used to tell me, you know, being in a relationship is nothing to do with being married, and I hope and I trust that it will bring new ventures for me in my life, and we are just excited as a family, and also the support that I have from my family. I married a woman that really, it took us time, because also my parents was always like afraid. You know, it's difficult being married to a musician because of the industry, and she really supports me, and I really love that she also inspired me to do better in my music. We did a gig at 169 along, and then I think it was one of Jimmy's first, one of the tracks on Jimmy's first album, and I think I did Motherland, and then Jimmy probably walked past the gig and he heard, hey, but that's my song playing, and that's a live band who's playing my song. And as I was playing Motherland, the bass player of N2 Newton, he touched me, he said, hey man, look up man, look here. And as I look up, I saw Jimmy Blue. I didn't know it was embarrassed or excited. And Jimmy said, no man, big ups man, I respect that you play my song. And then my first invitation I got, back then it was still P4 Hard Today radio station. They had this jazz festival yearly that they took people to the bush in Jim Versier in Frans Hoek. And I appeared back then, my first gig with Jimmy Blue, as a guest artist, and Jimmy was the main artist of the day. So, and here I come. I was so nervous, and it was really, for me, it was huge, because Jimmy Blue was in the peak of his career back then. You know, all the gigs that he did, he was a very successful guy. And I've very much respect for him for giving me that opportunity, you know. Going forward for me, it's really nice. It's gonna be so excited for me to to start actually working on my own songs now. I remember also over the years, you know, you learn a lot from doing a lot of covers, you know, and also at this point, I think I'm ready now to basically just say to the world that look, this is who I am, and what reflects on my music that really comes from the experiences, you know. So writing my own songs really gonna mean where am I? You know, the person that people say, oh, I've seen that guy before, I've heard about him, and now coming forth with maybe a CD, you know. I already started writing my own songs, so really the identity for me, it's important that come out of my music, through my music. Also, as a South African, you know, I would really like keep it African, but also come up with a sound that people can say, you know, as a guitar or instrumentalist, that's a new guy. You have quite a nice sound, you know, for a South African guitar player. No matter how hard, sometimes in life it is. If you can walk, what it's man and said, I lost a brother 4 or 5 years ago, and he had throat cancer, and it was really tough for us. You know, he was the eldest, and I was actually on tour with the band, and my dad had to call me overseas to tell me, look, you know, we lost him, and it was hard for me. I remember my dad's words so clearly now still. Lionel, just stay focused, just stay calm. I'm sorry to give you this bad news, and then I came home. We had a funeral, and then I decided not to go overseas. And in that time, it was difficult for us, you know. And in that time, I couldn't play for quite some time. I couldn't play. I couldn't touch my guitar, and losing a family member or a brother or sister, I think if you have experienced that as a family, it's hard to describe. And one day I had the courage to start playing again, and the song came out. The song titled Blue Skies, and the song really reminded me of my brother. He was also a musician. He was a bass player, and his name is Herman. And every time for me when I play Blue Skies, it reminds me of the good times that we shared when we still had him, and I learned so many things from him today still, in the person that he was. You know, he was a cool guy. He was a easy person, never stressed. He was a quiet guy. Me in the family, man, I talk, I speak my mouth. I speak my mouth. So, but Blue Skies really, I dedicate that song to him.